Welcome to Wellness Lux, where we want you to live your best life, look and feel amazing. Join us on this journey to living to 100. I'm Christina LaRue, and I promise that each episode will bring you practical health tips, sustainable habits, and inspiring conversation with people who are redefining wellness. From food and fitness to mindset and longevity, you'll discover how to create a healthier, happier you. Today, I'm so excited. Our first interview, we are going to welcome an amazing woman. Her name is Terri Austin. Terri is an attorney and legal analyst who has appeared on a number of networks, including ABC News, BBC, CBS News, Court TV, CNN, and Inside Edition, Law and Crime, and MSNBC. Previously, she served as an adjunct professor at the University of Southern California Annenberg School of Journalism. Prior to that, Terri served as Chief Corporate Policy Officer for S&P Global and General Counsel for AIG Domestic Claims. Terri was a trial attorney for the law firm Richards & O'Neill, and before that, she served as a trial attorney for New York City Law Department. Terri holds a bachelor's degree in political science from Grinnell College, a Juris Doctorate from Columbia University School of Law, and a master's degree from Columbia University School of Journalism. She is a member of the New York City Bar Association and has served on a number of nonprofit boards, including Riverdale County School, Women's Sports Foundation, Girls Inc. of New York, and New Alternatives for Children. Terri has received a number of honors, including the Network Journalism's 25 Influential Black Women in Business, Girl Scouts Council of New York Women of Distinction, Top Diversity Executive by Black Enterprise, and the Foundation for the Judicial Friends Leaders in Law. Terri lives in New York City, where she has completed 3 New York City marathons. We're going to talk to her today about wellness habits, what keeps her balanced, and the lessons she's learned along the way. I know you're going to walk away with insights that you can start applying to your own life right away. I am so excited to welcome Terri Austin. All right, so I am so excited. We have Terri Austin in the house. Yeah! So, like I said, she is my first interview. Super excited because this is just an amazing way to start my Wellness Lux show, because she is, I mean, look at her. Healthy looking, beautiful, just full of wellness. I love it. And she's living strong and she's living the life. So I love it, I love it, I love it. So, like I told you all, she has competed in 3 New York City marathons. Amazing. I can't even believe it. What an incredible achievement. So I want to ask you, what did training and running teach you about discipline, resilience, and wellness?
Oh my goodness, discipline, resilience, and wellness. First of all, I think it's important to always move your body. And when I was younger, I tried out for different sports, and ultimately I ended up on the track team. So I've been running all my life. And as an adult, I wanted to keep that up. And so I would run or walk or both every day. And I decided after my mom passed away that I wanted to run a marathon and dedicate it to her. So that was my first marathon. And I gotta tell you, I actually trained for it, but at mile 5, I was like, what am I doing here? And then I had music in my ear, and it wasn't working. And at mile 5, I kid you not, when I was about to say, no, I can't do this, her favorite song came on. And this little radio thing, back in those days, they didn't have like the headsets and all of that. This thing didn't work until mile 5, and then that song came on. And I started crying, and I finished the marathon. So the point is, I got motivated, and after that, I was like, running is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I ran 2 more marathons, and I still today try to run or walk, just to keep the body moving. Mm-hmm. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to do a marathon. You just got to keep moving.
Yes, I actually absolutely love that. Wow, that's so important. And we talk about that on Wellness Lux that walking is key. Movement is so important, because if you stop, then you lose it, and you cannot stop. You got to keep moving. I love it. I love it. So here at Wellness Lux, our motto is look and feel your best, be amazing, and let's journey to live to 100. So I want to ask you, what does living to 100 well mean to you personally?
Well, I want to live beyond that even.
Yes,
I think it really is a motivator for me to keep my body healthy, you know, and you do have to be disciplined. You do have to have resilience to be well. And so what I want is to be good to myself. And I think being good to myself is going to have that longevity that I think everybody is looking for. I don't want to live forever, but I do want to live as long as I possibly can. So I do try to eat the right things. Moderation, I think, is key, Christina. I think if you can moderate, that's everything. That means you don't have to deny yourself the pleasures. You can have ice cream, you can do whatever you want, just don't overdo it. So I think eating right, exercising, and doing all of that in moderation is going to help you live longer. Obviously, I think you need to go to the doctor, you need to make sure that you are healthy and get the help that you need. I know some people think, oh gosh, I don't want to go to the doctor, I don't know what is going to be found, but I do think that when you can get on top of your health like that, you can be proactive and you can ward off anything. If you know, for instance, that there might be cancer in your family, and we do have cancer in my family, I go for my mammograms every year, and I get ultrasounds as well, because I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I can to stay well.
Absolutely, yeah. Just be proactive, right?
Exactly.
Preventative care is so important. Getting those blood tests, making sure that everything's normal, and catching things early so that you can be on a plan.
That's
for
right.
health.
That's
I love it.
exactly
I love it.
right.
That's so great. So, in your busy career, I know you're so busy. What daily or weekly wellness habits help you to feel grounded and energized? What would you say?
You know, I think the first thing I do every morning is drink, it's club soda, but I mean seltzer water, but I put apple cider vinegar in it, and I put lemon in it. And there's something about that, just starting your day with fluid, with water. I mean, our bodies are mostly water. And I think people don't drink enough, and they get dehydrated, and there's all kinds of things going on in the body if you just nourish it every day. And so I start with that, and it also helps me to not want to eat. My appetite is a little bit more suppressed because I know I'm going to have that glass, and it's actually the first thing I look for. I mean, I have a cup of coffee too. A lot of people are drinking matcha. I still haven't developed a taste for that, but I do love my coffee. And so just getting up and making sure that I'm hydrated, I think, is something that is a daily routine for me that makes me feel good. And then the rest of the day, I can just, I don't actually eat that much. I mean, I think I'm a good size. I don't know if you want to tell your viewers, but I feel good in my body. You know, I think I'm in shape. And so
You do.
I do try to make sure that I don't overeat, because I'm only 5'3", and I'm anywhere between like 105 and 110, sometimes a little bit more than that, but I think it has to stay down because I am so little. And so I do try to eat fruits and vegetables. I eat meat too, but not so much. So on a daily basis, I just try to have a healthy diet and just, like I said, do moderation, not too much of anything.
Right. And I love that. I love that how every morning you hydrate your body. I'm the same way. Like the first thing I do is I have my electrolytes, which is very similar to what you're doing. It's just a different form, right? You're using the apple cider vinegar and the lemon, which is so good for your body too. And I just use my little electrolyte powder and use it with water. But I love that. That's a great like drink to even have throughout the day. You know, instead of reaching for that soda or reaching for that, you know, energy drink, that is so amazing. That is a great substitute. So any of you who are trying to get off those sodas and those sugar drinks, try the sparkling water, the mineral water.
Absolutely.
It's absolutely delicious, and you can squeeze in some fresh juice. It could be a lemon, and then I love the apple cider vinegar, dropping that in there too, because that has huge health benefits. That's so great for you.
I can't remember the last time I had a soda.
Right, me too.
I mean, beer. And I used to drink Diet Coke Actually, every morning.
See, you slept. I love it. I love it.
But that has been, oh my gosh, at least 30 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, amazing. So you could do it too. Absolutely. I love it. That's such a great habit to share with others and to start. So let's move on to, so I noticed also that you've served on lots of boards, including women, children, sports. And so how do you see wellness intersecting with employment, particularly for women and young children? What do you think?
Well, I think that it's a balance. I mean, if you are a working mom, it's really hard to get that work-life balance. Some people say they've achieved it, some people say it's not achievable. But again, I feel like moderation is the key. It's not that you have to be perfect in everything.
Right.
Believe me, I was a single mom for many, many years with 3 children. And if there was a bake sale and you're supposed to bake something and bring it to the school, I would just go get some Entenmann's and put it in a little homemade, little dish that looks like I made it. And that's where the moderation comes in. You do what you have to do.
Exactly.
And so I didn't ever feel like I had to be perfect. Also, cooking, I mean, my kids never starved.
Right.
But I'm not one of these gourmet, chefs. They got, usually chicken thighs and broccoli or some vegetable and some rice. I mean, I just didn't have time really, or the desire. I'm just not a chef. But they always got a well-balanced meal. So I do think that you can do it all. And working for me is important because it shows my children what they can do. And so, I mean, I'm an attorney and now I'm an analyst on television. But I'm retired actually as an attorney, and even though I'm retired, I'm still doing lots of things because I never want to do nothing. I always feel like I want to always be active. And the boards, I think it's important to give back. I can't imagine being as blessed and lucky as I am and not giving back. And so I would highly recommend finding an organization or a charity, a group that you are really interested in. And sports has always been something I'm interested in. Women is something, and children. Those are all 3 areas. And you're right, I mean, over the course of my career, if you saw my resume, I mean, I know you have a bio, but I've probably served on at least a dozen boards.
Wow, that's awesome.
And right now it's just the 2 that I'm on, but I think it's always important to give back. And
Absolutely.
that sort of, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel more rounded. I can't imagine not doing that. So it's possible to do the work-life balance, but again, I think you just have to just make sure you don't try to overdo it. At least that was my secret.
Yeah.
I didn't overdo it. And sadly, I think the kids probably got the worst of it because they didn't get like gourmet meals and all of that. But they got my, they have my love and 100%. So.
And that's so important. I mean, it's overrated to try and make a 5-star meal every night. That's not what, I think what's more important that you're there.
Yes.
That you're together and that you're eating, the best that you can do.
Yeah.
That's the most important. And that's
they
what
never
kids are going to remember. Exactly.
Until now.
Yeah, they do.
Now they're like, Mom, look what these people are doing. Why are you? So.
No, I'm sure you did amazing. And I love how you talked about sharing your talents and serving. That is so important to wellness. And people who want to live, the best, longest life possible is sharing with others, volunteering, serving, giving of yourself when you can, is vital to living a long, healthy life, because that's what we're made for. We're made for purpose, and we're made to share our gifts and talents. And I love that you did that, and you do that. That's amazing. That's a great example. And I also see that you were recognized as one of the 25 influential Black women in business and a woman of distinction. So what mindset has helped you navigate challenges and keep you motivated?
I think seeing what's going on in the world motivates me. I think there's always a need to be active, be supportive, to give back. And it's funny you recognized one of the awards, and I remember they asked us on that particular award to say what we were excited to do as our next step. And they filmed it and they showed it at the award show, and everybody said, oh, it's very important, I just want to give back. And And mine, and I felt really bad that I said this, but in hindsight, I think it was something very positive. Mine was like, I think next I want to be CEO of a company. And I remember feeling like, oh my gosh, I probably should have said what all these other people are saying. But it is interesting that I do always want to go to that next level. I think being ambitious, there's nothing wrong with that. And I mean, as long as you give back, and that's why, I got that particular award, because I was giving back. But I can give back and still want to be the best I can be. And I do think that helps me stay well. I think it's just exciting for me to think about, okay, what's my next step? What am I going to do?
Yes.
I'm not going to just sit back and, I am retired now because I'm old.
You look amazing.
I'm old. But I'm still out there doing projects and going on television and speaking my mind and talking about trials and cases. And I think I'm now actually working on a documentary. So that's like the next step. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
We'll have to look for that. I can't wait to see.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I'll come back and tell our viewers where to find it.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to follow and see.
And it's about a woman.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not me, but...
That's great. And also, I want you to just share with the viewers, like, how do you define success today? Like, what does that mean to you, and how has that changed? Has that changed over time?
Well, I think for me, success, it has multiple facets. I mean, obviously, you want to be financially comfortable. I think that's important, obviously. You want to be able to pay your bills and not worry about, oh my gosh, where's that next check coming from? But I think also feeling good about what you're doing. And I feel very good about what I'm doing. When I was in corporate America, I felt like I contributed and that I succeeded and that I was recognized for what I did. And now that I'm on my own, I feel like I like the final product of what I'm working on. And so I think if you can enjoy what you're doing and like what you're doing, that's important. It's not just a job. That I really feel like you should look for what makes you happy. Going to work every day, doing a 9 to 5, not being happy at what you're doing. Millions of people do that. And okay, you can do that, but if you can find something that really excites you and that you feel proud about, you're going to excel. And I do tell my children that. And they are fortunate enough to be able to do what they enjoy doing. But when you do that, I think you're going to be even more successful than just going to a 9 to 5. So I continue to, incorporate that into what I do, actually. So it's important to love what you're doing.
Absolutely. Yes, that makes a difference. You're excited to get up every day. You have a purpose, and you just go. You go full on. I love it. I love it. So I just want to ask you, growing up, who have been some of your biggest role models when it comes to like health, balance, longevity? Like, have you looked up to anybody?
It's interesting. I mean, obviously my mom was one of my biggest role models. Not from a health perspective. From a health perspective, Billie Jean King.
Ooh.
I love her.
Okay.
And she actually is very much involved on one of the boards that I'm on. And she is just nonstop and continues to get awards, continues to be active, and is an inspiration to everyone, not just women and girls, but to everyone. And the board that we're on, it's called Women's Sports Foundation. She comes to the meetings.
Wow.
And you can still hear in her voice that she's very excited. She will never stop. And that is inspirational to me. And she's very healthy.
I love it. Yeah.
She stays in shape. She continues to move and play tennis with her partner. And I think that has been an inspiration even before I joined the board. She has been an inspiration to me. I just think that she is cut from another cloth. I mean, she broke that mold because, she did not let the barriers stop her. She broke so many barriers.
I love it.
I mean, I like also some of the Olympians, they are inspirational to me. And some of the tennis players, Serena Venus, Sha'Carri Richardson is one of the women that I think, she dresses the way she wants, she has the long nails, and she breaks those records. I think it's amazing what these women are doing. So those kinds of things, actually, if you look on my socials, I actually post women and girls doing things, and because it inspires me.
Right.
I mean, I can't run like that or play tennis like that or do any of those things like that. But I remember when I joined the board for Women's Sports Foundation, I said, well, thank you so much for having me. I'm not really sure. Why me,
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm not really an athlete. And they said to me, Terri, you are an athlete.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You run, you've done marathons. There are elite athletes.
Right.
You don't have to be an elite athlete.
Right.
But I now consider myself an athlete.
Absolutely.
Even though that was not my
Mm-hmm.
profession,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not elite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not going to beat anybody. I finished the marathons and I never walked. I ran the whole way. But I mean, I certainly didn't come in first. But I came in, and that's all
important. You had a goal and you finished.
Yes, exactly.
That's so
important.
important.
And a lot of people don't finish.
Right.
As you go along the track, the route, you see people who
they give up.
They stop. I mean, like I almost did that first time.
Yeah.
But
you were motivated.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's a mindset. It's a mindset,
gosh,
right?
Yes. It is definitely a mindset. It's interesting what your mind can make your body do.
Absolutely. How powerful it is.
It is.
So powerful.
It truly is.
You have to be feeding it constantly.
Absolutely.
Positive, messages, because we are inundated with negativity,
Absolutely.
right? And people trying to stop you and challenge you and say you can't do it. And you have to tell yourself every single morning,
you can do it.
I can,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
I love it. And you will, because it's so important. So important. I love it. So how would you say you manage stress? Like if you're like doing an interview or you're training or you're in the courtroom, what are some of the techniques you have for stress?
It's funny because when I tried cases, people always said to me, Terri, you're so calm.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality was inside, not so much. Breathing, though. That's my trick. I absolutely, before I do a hit on television or before I do a case in court, I would just take deep breaths, 2 or 3 deep breaths, and it's amazing how it relaxes me. And I think it's probably good for everybody to just breathe. You're focusing on your breathing, you're clearing your mind, and I don't know, it relaxes me enough to do what I have to do. And you have to have the ability to get words out and the ability to do what you need to do to communicate. It's funny because one thing I also do is I say to myself, Terri, you're just talking.
Right. Okay.
It's not like you have to, run as fast as you can or memorize all the lines in a movie. Or, and I kept thinking of these other things that, in my opinion, are much harder. And so for me, I'm just talking.
Right.
I'm talking to a jury.
Right.
Or I'm talking to the camera. And so I think that's important to make sure that you breathe and tell yourself, other people do it, I can do it. It's not as hard as, you might think it is. And for me, because I talk, that's something that everybody can do.
Absolutely.
So I psych my mind out. It goes back to what you're thinking and what's in your mind.
I love it because the breathing, is so important. I'm just going to, so there we go. I was listening to a podcast, and one of the podcasters mentioned that Dr. Huberman, Dr. Huberman, right?
Yes.
At Stanford, he has his own podcast, that he said, I think the number one hack also for stress is a breathing exercise. And what he says you do is you take 2 quick breaths in, and then a slow breath out. And you just do that a few times before you're like about to do something that is causing you stress or anxiety. And he says it's a game changer.
Yes.
So I love that you incorporate that breathing, because you're bringing oxygen to your brain, you're opening up, all that.
Yes.
And it's a game changer. So I love that you
I'm going to try now the 2 breaths in and out. Because I just go, I just breathe in and out.
It's the same, you're doing the same thing, right? He just has a little routine with it.
Okay.
But I heard that, and so I do that too. So I love it. So if you could suggest just one habit that supports long-term health and happiness to our viewers, what would it be?
Ooh, one habit. I think be good to yourself. I know that's not necessarily a habit, but I feel like when people deprive themselves, that it sort of defeats the purpose. And I never deprive myself. I eat what I want, when I want, how I want, but again, it's that moderation. And so one of the specific habits beyond that is, I try not to eat too late at night. And it's not really the intermittent fasting, but it's kind of intermittent fasting. So, I mean, I would say that's a habit I could give your viewers that I think works for me. But again, it goes back to not depriving myself. I mean, if I'm hungry, I will eat. But I do try to stop at a certain time so that my body can rest at night and that I can break the fast. It is at breakfast, you're breaking a fast. And that means you should go some time without food. And I definitely think that helps me maintain my weight. I've got to say, but one of the things that has helped me is, I kind of do like that intermittent fasting thing. I don't say, oh my gosh, I can't eat for 16 hours.
Right.
But I try not to eat too late. I try to eat a little less at night. And then I try to break that fast in the morning with something healthy. Like I'll have a yogurt with fruit. And I try to wait in the morning before I haven't had anything this morning.
Right.
And so, I wait till my body tells me, are you hungry? Not just eating breakfast because it's breakfast time.
Like a schedule.
Exactly. Yes. I wait until my body says, okay, we can eat something now.
So, I love that. Yeah, that's so important. And same thing, with me. I'll have my electrolytes, I'll have my coffee, and then I usually have my routine. I love that you say movement. I love to walk. I try and get my 10,000 steps in before I even have anything to eat, right? So I do that right in the morning.
Yes.
And then, kind of do something, right?
Yes.
And then maybe about 11 or 12, your body might be saying, oh, it's time for a little snack. And then something super healthy, whether it's a bowl of berries, nuts, avocado with toast. I love your, yogurt idea. That's great too. Just something that's just super healthy that'll keep you full until your next meal, which is usually like dinner time.
Yes.
And then you're set, and that's it. That's it for the day, right? And then again, don't eat too late.
You look so amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, these are habits that it takes time, right? You have to just slowly get into that habit. And again, not depriving yourself. I love that.
Right.
Here at Wellness Flex, we have the 90-10 rule where, 90% of the time you really want to be intentional about what you're eating, right? And make sure that you're putting everything good into your body. And if you really are craving something, you can have that, right? But I find that when you do the 90-10 rule, by the time you get to that 10%, you really don't want it. You're just kind of like, I'm good. I don't need that. But, it's not depriving yourself, right? Knowing that it's okay if you want that, sneak in that little bead of candy or sweet or whatever it is you want. You know
what I keep in my refrigerator? This is a little crazy. But chocolate chips.
Ooh.
And if, I feel like, I need a little something. I'll just take a few chocolate chips and that's it.
And there you go.
And it satisfies that craving.
The craving.
And it's not like some huge dessert or something. Sometimes that's all I need.
Right. Yeah. And it is. And then you're good. I love it. Okay. So closing question I have here. So if you could leave our listeners with one piece of wisdom about living well and living long, what would your one piece of wisdom be?
I think I said, be good to yourself. Yeah. Don't beat yourself up.
Right.
Even if you fall down, meaning that you didn't stick to the diet that day, that's fine. Put that behind you. Keep moving on.
Right.
You have the next day.
Right. Don't give up.
Be good to yourself. I think that's important because if you're not good to yourself, you're not going to be good for anybody else.
Right.
And, it goes back to what we said also. It's in your mind. You can do anything you want to do if you just put your mind to it. And I'm thinking of this little thing that comes up on social media. Is this little boy, and he says, "Mom, you can be anything. You can do anything you want to do." And he says, you just have to put your mind to it. And that's how I feel. I think be good to yourself, and put that in your mind and move forward with that.
I love it. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you so much, Terri. I love it. We definitely heard some really inspirational stuff, some practical tips so that you guys can all be on your journey to wellness. And if we want to know more about Terri, where can we find you, Terri? Where are you?
I am on all the social media at Terri, Terrid, as for Diane Austin, Austin, Terri D. Austin. Instagram is Terri D. Austin. Everything is Terri D. Austin. And I also have a website, and you can just put in terriaustin.com, and that should come up. Okay. And I think on TikTok, that's the only one that is different, and it's Terri Austin Legal Analyst. But I think if you just put Terri Austin, it'll come up as well.
Okay.
All yes, right. and like and follow.
Yes, and I'm going to put that in our chat. I'm going to put all those on there so that you guys can just see the link and click on it. And if you enjoyed this chat, don't forget to like and subscribe Wellness Lux too. Share it with a friend, share it with your sister, share it with your children, share it with whoever you want. And I'm so excited. This is just the beginning of an amazing journey. I love that Terri shared all this great insight with us. We have so many more conversations coming your way. So have a wonderful day and journey with us to 100, or like Terri said, even past that.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. I'm honored to be your first guest.
So I love it. I love it.
I'll be back.
Yay! Okay.